All right. Today we're going to learn about following the order of operations. And so this is going to be our basic introduction to it. And as we go over it a couple more days, we're going to learn some, more complex stuff. But as long as you can follow the steps in this video, you can solve any order of operations problem that you get. If you like, I have this link right here that you can follow and it's got a video that explains more, so please feel free to go and look at that. You can also find it on YouTube if you just search math antics and then order of operations. You can watch that too. Okay, so order of operations, and I know y'all probably have done a little bit, but in 6th grade we're going to take it, up a notch. So we're using GEMDAS. You may have heard PEMDAS. Okay, it's the same thing, but we're using G for grouping instead of P for parentheses because you can have many different kinds of grouping symbols. They're not always just going to be parentheses, but it means the same thing pretty much. So grouping, you're going to do anything with grouping symbols first. And remember, the order of operations, they're like the set of rules that you have to follow. You have to do your grouping symbols first. So anything in parentheses or brackets, or there's a special symbol we're going to learn about in a couple days. It's called the vinculum. You do all your grouping stuff first. After that, you go through the problem again and you look for any exponents. Then you evaluate exponents. Next comes multiply or divide, multiplication or division. And you see this arrow down here at the bottom? Well, the order for multiplication and division, it's from left to right. So it doesn't matter if the first symbol on the left is a multiplying or dividing. You're working the multiplication or division from the left to the right. And then after you've done all the multiplying or dividing, then you go on to the adding and subtracting. And again, your adding and subtracting go from left to right. So just remember, and you can make a note, left to right. Okay, left to right. So it's not that you have to do all the multiplying first and then the dividing, or all the adding and then the subtracting. It's whichever one, multiplying or dividing, and you go from the left to the right. Same thing with the adding and subtracting. So these are the steps that we're going to use to solve order of operations problems. Step 1, you're going to rewrite the problem. Yes, you need to rewrite it so that you can have adequate space to work it out. Step 2, you're going to draw what we call a reindeer nose and write GEMDAS because you're going to check it off when you do each step. And then step 3 is follow the order and rewrite the problem every step. You're not going to be doing 2 and 3 steps in the same line. Each line of working the problem is only one step. So let's do an example. And again, please make sure that you have been writing these steps down, okay? And also that you have written down GEMDAS. All of this, including this picture, okay? Because this picture is going to help you to remember what to do. All right, first example. We have 9 plus 6 times 8 minus 5. So first step, okay, we have the problem, and we're going to pretend that we've rewritten this on our paper. And so now we need to do GEMDAS. Okay, and put your arrow down the bottom so you can remember. And if you need to put an arrow for the multiplying, dividing as well, that's good too. Okay, first, grouping. Do we have any grouping? Yes, I'm going to underline it. I want you to underline the part that you're working on. So then on the next line, okay, the 9, that's not going to change. 9 plus 6 times, and then what's 8 minus 5? 3. Okay. So we're done with grouping. There's no more grouping in our problem. Next is exponents. Do we have any exponents here? No. So cross that off. Now we're looking for either multiplying or dividing, and we're going from left to right. So we have 9 plus Okay, and then 6 times 3. So we have multiplying. So we're going to underline what we're going to work on this time. So 9 plus, okay, and now we have 6 times 3. That's 18. Okay, so are we done with multiplying and dividing? Yes. Cross it off. Next one, adding and subtracting, and again we go from left to right, so we just have 9 plus 18, and that is going to be 27. So this right here, the two lines like this, and the circle, that's called our reindeer nose. You can call it a reindeer nose, a Dorito chip, pizza slice, whatever you like. Okay, it's just showing you that as you're working the problem, it's getting smaller and smaller as you go down. Okay, next example. Okay, we have 9 minus 5 divided by 8 minus 3 times 2 plus 6. I kind of think of like the minus and the plus signs as like stop signs. They're like helping separate out different parts of the problem that you have to do. So you can think of it like that a little bit. So we're going to write down GEMDAS. Okay. So grouping. Do we have any grouping? Yes, right here. And again, you're underlining the part that you are solving each time. So 9 minus 5 divided by, and what is 8 minus 3? 5, okay, times 2 plus 6. So we're done with grouping. Cross it off. Do we have any exponents? No. Cross it off. Now we're looking for multiplying and dividing, and we're going from left to right. So scanning, starting from the left. Okay, here's minus. Okay, oh, 5, or dividing. So we have 5 divided by 5. Underline. Again, we're only doing one step at a time. So 9 minus, and then what is 5 divided by 5? 1. Rewrite the rest of your problem. Times 2 plus 6. Okay, now we need to make sure. Double check. Do we have any more multiplying or dividing? Oh, yes, we do. We have some multiplying right here. So let's take care of that. 9 minus, and then we have 1 times 2, which is 2, and then plus 6. So now do we have any more multiplying or dividing? No. So cross it out. Notice how I did not do all the multiplying and dividing in one line. I did it over 2 lines because you're only doing one operation per line. That's it. One operation per line. Okay, and now we've got addition and subtraction, and we go from left to right. So first we're going to start off with this 9 minus 2. 9 minus 2 is 7. We still have the plus 6. And then finally, we have 7 plus 6, which is 13. All right. Now we're going to do a couple with exponents, so let's review. Remember 3 squared, that's 3 times 3, which is 9. 5 cubed, it's 5 times 5 times 5, which is 125. And then 2 to the 5th, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so remember 2 times 2, that's 4. Okay, then times 2 again, that's 8. Then times 2 again, that's going to be 16. And times 2 one more time, it's going to be 32. Okay, all right. So just remember your exponents. So here's our next example. We have 2 times 3 squared plus 5 squared. So you got to write GEMDAS. Okay, first, grouping. Now, yes, I see there's an exponent here, but there's parentheses. So we have to take care of what's inside the parentheses first. So 2 times 3, that's 6. So 6, and we're going to put those parentheses back just because we're dealing with an exponent on it. So 6 squared plus 5 squared. So now we're done with grouping symbols because what's inside these parentheses, it's fully simplified. Exponents. We have 6 squared plus 5 squared. So we're going to do the 2 exponents. So 6 squared, that's 6 times 6, which is 36. And then plus, and then 5 squared is 5 times 5, which is 25. And so now we're done with our exponents. Let's check. Do we have any multiplying or dividing? No. We have the addition here. So you got your 36 plus 25. 6 plus 5 makes 11. 2 and 3 makes 5 plus 1 is 6. So your answer is going to be 61. Okay. Here we have 52 minus 4 divided by 16 plus 6 squared. So GEMDAS. Okay. We've got grouping right here. Underline it. Again, notice how I'm underlining the part that I'm solving each time. 52 minus 4 is going to be 48. Okay, and then we're rewriting the rest of the problem. Divided by 16 plus 6 squared. Okay, no more grouping, so cross off G. Now we've got exponents. Yep, we do. 6 squared, so underline that part. So you have 48 divided by 16 plus, and then now what is 6 squared? 6 times 6 is 36. Okay, done with our exponents. Now we look, do we have multiplying or dividing? Yep, we got dividing right here. Underline it. 48 divided by 16. So let's see. 16 times 2, that's 32. Let's add another 16 there. 6 plus 2 is 8. 3 plus 1 is 4. Okay, so 16 times 3. So 48 divided by 16 is going to be 3. And we got plus 36. Do we have any more multiplying or dividing? No. Cross it out. We're done. Next, we have adding or subtracting, and there's only the 3 plus 36, which is 39. So that would be our final answer. Okay, so let me see how many. All right. So I'll do one more with you, and then I'm going to leave you this last one to do on your own. So here we go. 6 times 5 plus 3 cubed, all of that in parentheses, minus 3. So we're going to write GEMDAS. Okay, grouping. We got this right here. Now, within the grouping symbol, you have to follow GEMDAS as well. So it's like a problem within a problem. So we're going to follow within here. Are there any grouping symbols in here? No. Okay. So I'm going to do like another mini GEMDAS over here to the side so we can make sure we're checking everything off. There's no grouping. Do we have exponents in this little problem? Yes. So underline that. I'm going to do that in a different color. So we've got 3 cubed, which is 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. Times 3 again is going to be 27. So we have 6 times 5 plus 27. And then minus 3. Okay. Next, so we're done with exponents on the inside. Now we've got to do multiplying and dividing. We have just this multiplying right here. So we have 6 times 5. And again, our parentheses are still there because we haven't finished everything inside them. So you have 30 plus 27. And then we still have the minus 3 on the outside. Okay, we're done with multiplying and dividing on the inside. Now we just need to do any addition subtraction, which is 30 plus 27, which is 57. And then we're done with our parentheses because we've simplified everything inside. And now it's just minus 3. So 57 minus 3 is going to be 54. Okay. So now you need to write down this problem right here because this is the one that you're going to have to do on your own. Remember, you need to write down GEMDAS. And you have to follow GEMDAS as a whole for the entire problem, but you also have to follow it within each of these parentheses. So I want you to go on ahead and get me the answer for this, and we'll check it when I see you in class. See you later. Bye.